Hello and welcome to episode 311 of Tenno Clock. I am MDRLOz. This is Xeno and we are here to talk to you about Warframe. Warframe is a game, a lovely game, a game about space ninjas?
I thought you were just going to say, like, wars and frames.
Frames, wars, and the many in-betweens between them. Where will your epic journey take you? To the forest reaches of Pluto, or to the plains of something called Deviri. Nice fellow, really, when you get to know them. Yes. Right, anyway, yes, hello, it is 10 o'clock, episode 311. We shall start every episode, like we do, with our talks of Warframe, by discussing emblems we have found. Look at the emblems we have found. They are beautiful. Are they not, Xeno?
Yeah, my one.
That is an affirmative.
You look down. You look back up. You look down. You look back up. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, mine's not bad, but I don't quite... It's a nice idea, but I assume what it is. It's supposed to be like a M overlaid of the lotus symbol. But then the thing is, I look at... I'm going to make it bigger. If I look at like the bottom of the M, I think maybe it's supposed to be like blood or something, or a rock.
I thought it was a scarf.
Yeah, exactly. It just looks like a scarf or like tassels of the end of like a roll, you know, one of those tassely bits. So it's like, and then the mentors, I think they should have made that. It shouldn't have been in blue. If that was a completely different color, it would have stood out more. But
it would work. It would work better. So let me bring it back up for everyone else. It would work better if they treated the negative throughout, because you'll actually see that where the lotus symbol covers the M, it turns blue. Otherwise, it's red. So if they had it where they kept that contrast and you went from blue to red for the actual word, it would work fine.
I'm not sure.
It would work better, actually, but yeah.
It probably would have worked better, but I think then it would have made it less prominent. And I think it's the blue into white. Maybe if it was blue into red, no, maybe it was blue into purple. That light blue that they've used for the lotus symbol, they should not have used for the mentals. In fact, if you look at the lotus symbol, I see that it goes from like a light blue to a dark blue, like on the far right. I think maybe if they kept that for the mentals instead of the white. It's horrible. But yours, I like yours.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it means, but it's so cute. It's like a space bubble. So it's like a speech bubble. And in that speech bubble, it's like flying icicle planet moon thing with the little orbity thing.
Yeah, it's. Oh, sorry, that you meant the black part as a speech bubble. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, no, it's like I know it's shaped by the planet itself, but it just makes it also. That's just nice. I have no idea what it means. Although, I think the top left looks like it's not a complete perfect circle. Picks that out of place, but still, it's really nice. At a glance, I would see yours. It would be much more visually interesting. It would catch my attention.
Yep.
Right. I don't know what it means, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. What you want?
Well, I mean, the other one, you know what they're going to do. They are mentors. I assume they mentor people. They are the mentors. The mentors.
You're just going to nod.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Moving on. So, dojo dusting.
Right. So, dojo dusting, we had a bit of a tragedy earlier this week. I had to shave my beard, and now you can see my neck again. So, I'm sorry for this crime. You know, I will... You thought it was going to be something serious, didn't you?
I thought, what have I forgotten? Something happened? What's the tragedy?
I lost my beard.
Why did you lose your beard?
Oh, I had to go to a work event, and I couldn't go to the work event looking like a hobo.
They say that?
No, I said that.
You said that?
Yeah.
A work event? Like what, with...
A conference.
Conference.
Yeah, we were hosting a conference and everything, and
right.
I couldn't be like the only homeless-looking person there, so...
I suppose you can, once you pass through into ultimate hobo-ness, because you're allowed an ultimate hobo at a conference.
I think I need to be older for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a point at which, like, you're old, we're not going to moan at you because you're old.
Yeah. So, and you're just rocking it. So, anyway. What else is there to say? I think that's it for dojo dusting. We're going to go to TennoCon 2020.
I thought if we didn't go to TennoCon at this point. I know, I don't mean about missing TennoCon. I meant just because we said it the whole year, we failed to go. That was so stupid.
Yeah. And yeah, we're going to start looking to get the guests back on the show. The first week of November, or first weekend of November, we're going to have a Patreon guest. We'll then have 2 guests, 2 regular guests, and then the last weekend of November, we'll have a normal guest. And then the Patreon guests will return to... Sorry, last weekend of November, we'll have another Patreon guest. Then it will return to every second week of the month.
You haven't done a vlog in 6 months.
Haven't I?
No.
Well, I'd rather do TTL than vlog, so I'm going to focus on that.
Well, okay. Because sitting in front of a camera for 9 minutes, 10 seconds is just too much effort to you.
No, it's just I'd rather
big meanie.
No, it's I cut it in things.
Big bad meanie.
People don't want vlogs, Loz. Right.
No, it's true.
So that's it for.
Well, they want these arbiters for some arbitrary reason I can't still work out. Right,
I actually had someone turn to me and said, "This is the best show on YouTube," and I'm like, "For real?"
Totally. No.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the best show, maybe we'd actually have more views.
It's not about views, man. About feels.
Maybe we'd have more feels.
More feels. Right, let's move on. What we got?
One last thing on the dojo.
One more thing!
So I'm actually really liking the look of Ember's rework and have high hopes that she can become something that's interesting to play. Which means I don't have a Warframe anymore to rag on. So if anyone has any recommendations on Warframes that they think I won't like, please can you put in the comments below what Warframes you reckon I should check out and then make fodder to rag on. Alright, what are you looking at?
I'm checking which universe I'm in. It seems to be the wrong one.
Okay.
Probably somewhere online I must have just
crossed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look for the barcode in the bottom left. So, no, the bottom left. No, you more bottom left.
Wait, are you saying it's a Mandela effect, and in this universe, what I think is left is right, and right is left?
No. What's left is left, right?
Yeah, I know, but what you think is left is what I think is left.
No, bottom left, Loz. Loz, just go bottom left.
But as I've slipped into the other universe.
No, Loz, just go bottom left. Look at the bottom left. No, that's the bottom. Bottom left. Yeah? No, keep going. Keep going. No, bottom left. No, that's up, down. Bottom left, Loz. Bottom left. Keep going. No, bottom left. Why are you looking at the floor?
I don't know what you want me to do.
The whole point was it was just out of view each time.
Right.
It's in the bottom left. You can't focus on it because it's in the bottom left. It's like a heads-up display. But it moves with your eyes. It's your microphone, Loz. Never mind. Moving on. So that's it for JoJo Dusting. Go on to the graphs. It is the graphs first, isn't it?
No, it's the end stage. You might push the button.
Okay. Graphs it is. Would you like to see Void Disruption Node? 74 people responded. I like the fact that this went up again. Good job, everyone. 6% said no. 12% said that they didn't care. And 81% said yes. I'm going to tack on to that. 81% said that they couldn't have Little Duck.
It wouldn't work. I would complain heavily. Like I haven't complained in a long time because I'd be like, "This is stupid. This is how it should be." Go re-record all those lines.
I think with Little Duck, I would care more about her character if, like, her aesthetic went with her speech pattern. But she's a bloody cyborg that's supposed to be brought up by the Biz. The Biz can talk proper English. Why can't she?
It's a fair point that she's the only one with this sort of weird language. I suppose.
No, she's not though, because the Vent kids also speak like this.
They don't though. They don't. She does not speak like them. They use so much more jargon.
Okay, fine. They do use so much more jargon, but she will just slide in things like muckety mucks and crap like this. It's like, what the fuck?
But is that the same? Right, this is an interesting thing. I might be worth looking into. Just is that the same language exactly that they're using?
No. It's not. It's sort of like the same I think the best thing I could just say is level of diet. It's like level of like slurs and things like that, like slang and. But it's just yeah. Anyway, no, little duck. Right, moving on. Next thing. I don't even think she talks like that in the comic either.
That's a fair point.
I don't think she does. Anyway,
but yeah,
right.
I bet the comic was made though when she was just a concept character.
Yeah. When do you think we'll fight the third Orb Mother? 73 people responded. 1% said 2022. 5% said 2021. 24% said the first quarter and second quarter, or first half of the year in 2020. 28% said we won't. And 39% said the second half of 2020.
Yeah.
I think you were there. You voted.
I didn't think I voted. I don't remember.
No, I think when you said, like, last week, you said the last half of 2020.
I'm really actually interested by this, because randomly YouTube recommended back to me again that we all live together. And obviously me and Xeno were there at TennoCon when that was revealed. And I remember the buzz that we had after that TennoCon, because that TennoCon was like a home run. It just seemed like the content that was coming was going to be out of this world. Literally. It's spaceships. Which, the spaceships has never been delivered. And I thought, well, yet, it will be delivered, obviously. But then I thought about, like, the full realization of that song was in the We All Live Together, which just seemed amazing. It's like, oh, what are we going to be doing with these people? It's like, we're going to get to know them and do all these things with them. And there's probably, like, quests where we learn about their struggle. And there was literally one quest, which was a pretty good quest. I mean, I love the Thursby losing his legs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I like to see.
No, he lost everything. You know, but they just.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. Didn't he? He was just ahead. Yeah. So, spoilers. But I liked that. But it was just one quest, and it's supposed to be we all live together. And you think of like the potential they said and showed, and think about actually what we got for Venus. It's the same thing with the Ostrons. I just feel you never really tap the potential of the area from a thematic point of view, like quests, getting to know the people. With small little quests, like where's the random daily quest from the Ostrons where you have to rescue some kid and you have to search the bloody plains for some kid who got lost at night, or where's the quest where you have to make some soup for some people, and they need some soup because their mother's ill and you're gonna make them some soup. Outworlder, you know, it sounds odd and stupid, but little quests like that can give you little tidbits of the lore and it makes you really associate better with the people. I hate that video game developers put a lot of lovely cities in, but they never feel like cities where there's people who require. I think like maybe I'm just spoiled from MMORPGs. Maybe that's why, you know, not MMORPGs, sorry, single player RPGs. You know, like Baldur's Gate, where the city has billions of people. You can walk up to anyone. They're like, "What do you want?" You know, "Oh, you're here to help me." Okay, here we go.
I think one thing that Warframe could potentially benefit from is systems akin to what's the name of the game? Remnant, where you could find items in the world that weren't usable. They were key items that you could take to an NPC in an environment, and then that NPC would do something different.
I know what you mean. It would then build up their story. Like you'd find the lucky coin of their friend. They when you first meet them, they'll mention about if you see my friend out there, just think, and then eventually you'll go a while, and then eventually you'll just open a box. It's like, you found this coin. It's like, oh, okay, what's this?
Yeah,
what is it? You take it back. It's like, it's the coin. And it is interesting. I mean, Remnant, I felt could have done more as well. But that kind of stuff. But so my final point, sorry, is just about the Orb Mother fight. That I really think that at some point, Orbalis, which I was hoping was going to be the most complete thing and finally be like these Outworld sections realized, became just like the Plains of Eidolon, where it was just like, right, finished, no more development, all the fluffy, cool, fun things that would have expanded this into the realm of awesomeness. Just no, product finished, move on, no more Orb Mother, you know. And the fact that that's missing, and that the final part of that, maybe the Orb Mother system, wasn't completed, it just felt like just cut their losses and moved on, instead of the potential that you saw with that We All Live Together. Anyway, sorry, let's move on to the next card. It just really hit me home when I started watching that. I was like, oh, it's going to be amazing. And I'm like, it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Right, the next card we have is... Nope, that's the same one we just did. Should a different Exodus adapter be for weapons? 70 people responded to this. 20% said that they didn't care. 32% said no. And 47% said yes.
I think someone in the comments pointed out, Reb said somewhere it would be different, but I have no proof of that or anything. So, yeah.
I think we both said yes. So
I think we both said yes. It needs to be. Yeah.
So I put a timestamp on it. So, Kuva weapons, as discussed, your thoughts. 53 people... What?
Sorry, I'm a little bit sleepy or whatever. I read that. Go through them.
Okay, 53 people responded. 7% said that they didn't like it. 9% said that they didn't care. 18% said that they like it. And 64% said that they wanted to hear more. What are you laughing at?
My brain just skipped reading. I think if you put "I'd want," right? My brain filled in the D with "don't." I don't want to hear more about it as the winning one. Like, oh, thanks, guys. Sorry, I don't remember really what we said.
So we discussed how we think that there's going to be no formering, there's going to be no rank limits.
Yes.
So it's stuff like that. There's going to be no potatoes, and the whole idea is that you can pick up and throw away the weapons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to hear more. I think one thing I'd really like of these weapons, though, is that they are utility based, right? So that they have utility based things like, this one has double the magazine capacity, right? This one has double the magazine capacity, double the reload time. This one has like no reload time. It's just like belt fed or something like that. Magic magazine fed, but only has like.
Well, that is similar to kit ganish things.
But yeah, so it's just like, I just don't want it to be elemental effect. So I just want to branch it out a bit more.
So you're saying that you don't just want them to be stat sticks that are like, this is the best pistol you can get, whatever. This is just the best ice pistol, whatever. You want to see more of the utility aspects as well.
Yes. Yeah, as well. Right. So that's it for the cards. I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
Ooh. I suppose it's good that they're talking about bringing the Exodus weapon thing in now. I assume that would be before these Kuva weapons. Because would it come with an opened utility slot? It have to, isn't it?
I think it would.
Yeah, it would. Interesting. Right, so moving on. Next is the feedback from the community.
No, Patreon questions. But one thing to point out, maybe one thing to make sure that the not RNG weapons, the normal ones that we currently have, are above the Kuva ones, is that the Kuva ones don't have an Exodus slot.
Isn't that what I just asked?
No, you were saying that the Kuva slot should be automatically unlocked.
And you're saying
that there shouldn't be a Kuva slot
at all.
Yeah, it's a thought, because like, how are you going to keep things like the Lato Prime relevant?
I don't think it will. I don't know. I think that actually with that one, it's probably that you won't. From what I can guess, it looks like you're not going to see Tenno weapons that are Tenno based on liches, and I don't say on Kuva liches. Because I think we're starting with Grenier. We'll probably get Corpus, maybe some form of Infested. But I don't see how we're going to end up with anything for those. So that would probably be the unique thing about them. But anyway, let's move on. Maybe we'll get something interesting like Super Primes or something for the Tenno-based ones. Anyway, so Nick Evans and Patreon questions. Now, should DE spend some time after Deviri and New War setting up some more quests to introduce some more of the basic systems? I've added systems in for new players, such as a non-skippable but incentivized quest to explain what the relays are, who the syndicates are, and who Teshin is, so that it's not weird when some of the characters appear in the later quests acting like they know us.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Or alternatively, just throw in Oh, what's the name of the place? Loz, what's the name of the place?
Mercury?
No, the inbox. You know, just like, hey, I am Teshin. I do this stuff, like, you know, as a video.
So they were clearly trying to do this when they did Vor's Prize, because Vor's Prize does a good job of introducing Darvo to you, which is really good.
Mm.
It then doesn't do anyone else. There really is such a... They just thought, right, again, new war package to go, puts you in the solar system, and it's like that design mentality of, hey, let's introduce a character and continue on, just didn't continue on through. All they needed was for you to hop from one quest to the next, and there should have been a post Vor's Prize quest that then sent you to a relay, had Teshin look at you, like, fresh out, are we? Well, we've got a lot of work to do on you. Like, you know, Conclave will be good for you. I know it's useless to no one do Conclave, but, you know, you could at least mention the Conclave and things. But, yeah, but who knows, maybe we'll get that in a new player revisit, whatever. There's not been any talk about that, actually, has there?
No, there won't be until New War and Railjack's out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, think about it. They just won't.
Yeah, but I do feel that they're unable to work on multiple projects now more than before. I don't know if maybe the scale of the project is just a lot greater with more complexity.
Yeah, I think the problem is that they have what's commonly referred to as scope creep, where they think, oh, we have X product, this is amazing, it's cool, it's awesome, and then all of a sudden they, like, the project itself has just ballooned out of proportions, and they have, like, oh, we've got two projects at the same time, we've got New War and Empyrean, and both of them have suffered scope creep, so nothing's happening right now until both those projects are finished. So
yeah, I think you're right on the scope creep, and also that maybe they're aware that we can't go to next TennoCon for the release of Railjack.
Yeah.
That would just be like that. So anything new they show, it's like, all right, should we come back in 5 years then? You know, it's just too long. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Nick Evans says, what would you say to further modular operator equipment, such as a form of amp that partitions off energy for the Void Dash and Void Blast, giving us more advanced and customizable versions of our abilities in the same way that regular amps change our basic Void beams? For example, an impetus, which changes our Void Blast from a wide cone of effect into a more concentrated strike, like a sword slash or spear thrust, or a Celeritas, which can change our Void Dash into something more like Wukong's Cloudwalker or Nova's Warp.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'd be down. I think I wouldn't want it to be specifically... I'm not entirely sure if this was said, but I wouldn't want it to be specifically an amp.
No, well, I think...
Like a modular piece of equipment, yes.
Yeah.
Like it could be a belt.
I like the idea of basically augmenting the abilities we already have. Some of this, the thing is though, some of this is what the focus system is supposed to be doing, and it doesn't for some of the abilities is the problem. It does do this kind of thing for the cloak, because you get things, I know in Inaru, I think it is, where you can cloak your teammates. While cloaked, you build up a damage buff and things like that kind of stuff. There's things that when you Void Dash, you can drop a buff item that people can pick up. So there is stuff about that, but the thing is, it's supposed to be in the focus system. But the focus system is never expanded upon and never adjusted. So, can't say. Nick Evans' optional third question. Loz, do you know that Xeno didn't know that Wisp went invisible when she jumps? Because Xeno didn't know, even after putting an Umbral Former on her. I had to tell him that.
Yeah, so I didn't realize because she went bright green, because that's what my energy color is. Also,
did you never jump or something?
No, I always did, but like she just went bright green. I'm like, that's not invisible. Like bright green, everyone can bloody see that.
That's quite stupid, you know. You are quite stupid.
Well, it's not like bloody anyone else's invisibility where they go transparent. Or to a lesser extent, translucent. It's just bloody bright green.
Where's your curiosity, man? Let's move on. Zerug, thank you for that, Nick Evans. Zerug says, Would you relic have a Pokemon-themed Warframe spin-off or a Warframe-themed dating simulator?
Pokemon spin-off.
Pokemon spin-off, because there's just more to it. It's one of those things that you could play on the go. I'm shocked that we don't. I suppose it's just use development time. I'm shocked we don't have some form of app game which doesn't tie into Warframe at this point.
Pokemon spin-off.
Just even something small. Just like a hacking mini game on your phone that you could play continuously. That you're digging for information, and eventually maybe that'd be cool. So you could have like a mini game you can play on your phone, and then if you play enough, you sort of unlock secret missions that you can then go back to your. When you get to play on your PC, it then has like a list of these that you've stocked up that you can go play, and they have different rewards. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. ZoogleOS asks, do you think the data spike will be moddable? Like the intruder mod for hacking, they did say it would help fill that role. I'm not sure about moddable, but I think cosmetics, you can get different cosmetic ones. I think I saw Steve do a tweet where he was asking people to name it. Oh, God, the names people were coming out was awful.
But yours is like by far the best.
Was it? I thought it was alright.
No, like everyone loves yours.
Does it? What? I didn't even check the tweet.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot of retweets, a lot of likes.
5. Something like that. Twitter.
Loz isn't used to Twitter. Like anti-Twitter.
Oh wow, I did. Cool.
Yeah? Isn't it like
nice?
Isn't it like
5 retweets and 62 likes?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Because it's a good bloody name. Or at least it makes some derivative from it. Or,
yeah, that's I didn't want to have like stabby McStab knife.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But people call that, and it's like, no, call it, something like that. I was actually, I wish I put, because of the way it says Vegas, is that you know, I think it's the Vegas from that, not Vagus, you might say it like that. So I was thinking about maybe if it was VEI, you could even change the name of the spelling slightly so it is specifically for the Warframe one, but says the same one.
Yeah.
Like Vegas. The Vegas.
Yeah, no, I think it's very well received.
That's good. Yeah. But as you say that, let's quick look. I bet you there's some like stabby McStab knife. I don't know if I can sort by. I can go to Steve's tweet.
How many replies has he got?
I see it's got 84 retweets, 1,500 likes. I can't. A lot? I don't know. Stabby McHackerblade. I really like Data Spike. Oh, come on. Somatic Tract. Okay. Mandible. DigiShiv. CP Universa. Shank Drive. Infopreneur. Swiss USB Spike. Cypherblade. It's all like Data Spike. Just don't call it Hidden Blade. Data Spike. Probiscus. Data Spike. You guys like to use your Sanskis. Nailjack. God. Oathkeeper.
What?
Name. Data Knife.
As in the mace from World of Warcraft.
Daggerjack. Stabby McKnifeface. Pokey McPokeface. Spike, which is in darts. Sharp Poker is killing everyone. USB, Universal Serial Blade. Trojan. Data Spike. Let's go here. Oh, wait. Oh, not the dagger of King Arthur. I can't even say that. Kawanan? Oh, Quanan. The extractor. I thought mine was interesting.
Yours was good. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on. So I think I've got Steve's tweet here. Open suggestions what to call this in Warframe will be used in more finishes, but has a dual interface purpose. Will have cosmetic options. Ceremonial dagger meets far future interface. So I think we will get some variations on them. I can't wait for it. I just like the idea so much of hopefully them committing, because they can commit to finisher animations with this thing, and it will only be with this thing. So you can have it unique to every mob. You can even make several for every mob, because once they make 2 from a mower, let's say, that's it. They're always going to be this. It's always going to be this kind of weapon. They don't have to make the golf swing scythe ones and the whip ones and none of that anymore. So that's kind of cool. Moving on. Zook will also ask, when was the last time you went swimming?
Oh, fucking forever ago.
Yeah, it was actually. I bet you should go swimming again. Yeah. It's just tricky. When you're a kid, you love swimming. It's like one of the most exciting things ever, just splash around in water. When you're an adult, you go, okay, I'll swim up and down in a pool. But then they like make it, you got these set times, and it's just, you just like other people. I need to go swimming more, though. Drunk Paul asks, what is your favorite weapon to launch yourself into space with?
In Warframe. What else? What? Redundant statement number 12. Javlock is coming to mind.
Cool. Loomis asks.
No, the lens.
Sorry. Oh, the lens.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've never bothered with the lens. I
love the lens. It's because the thing is, you can't use it up close because otherwise you will kill yourself.
That's true. Loomis says, now that we'll be getting Exilus slots, thoughts on getting Exilus Rivens? They would go into the Exilus slot and have utility bonuses and penalties. These you could not reroll with Kuva, but instead you could farm them like normal mods in disruption missions. Then again, this would also be a server issue and would have the same storage rules as regular Rivens, I'd imagine. Edit. They would only be for weapons, not Warframes.
I am down for this. I like the idea of having utility-based Rivens, but I would still want to keep them on Kuva for a, I don't know, half or third the amount to actually re-roll them. Plus the cap, I'm down for that sort of thing. I mean, if you want, rename it.
I do like the concept
else.
because it's separate. It also takes a burden off Rivens. So Rivens can be focused. Normal Rivens can focus on damage, and this allows I sometimes would probably focus on getting a more interesting utility Riven than just getting a damage Riven because I know that it'll have its own slot. It won't be competing against damage, and I can definitely take it. So I would focus on getting things with bigger magazine clips. Because at the moment, the tricky thing is, you're like, oh, I really would like, I'm really sick of this reload, the amount I'm reloading this weapon. But you're going to have to sacrifice damage, which we all know you can't do for anything.
Yeah.
You have to just go full damage. That might work, but I do think that it would just be too much of a database issue because you're basically saying you're going to need 2 Rivens for every weapon. Maybe you could make it that they are not per weapon, but per weapon type. So that you'd have rifles, shotguns, pistols, melee.
Yeah.
So that way you wouldn't have the database issue, because the problem with the database issue is you need one for every gun. If you made that these, that these were per weapon type, I might have 3 rifle ones, but that's all I need. You can choose, and that'll give me the options that I want, and I can use them on all the rifles. That would probably work.
Yeah.
That's how the best way to do it. Yeah, and that because they're utility. You're not really going to care as much, that it. Oh, you might want 3 for for the different. Oh yeah, I need a fire rate. What? No, I don't think fire rate's one. I need this one's for magazine capacity. This one's a super reloady one, and this one's a super
projectile flight speed.
Weapon projectile flight speed or something. So yeah, you would only need about 3 or 4, and you always at most maybe even just 1 or 2 people would have because it's per that. There we go. That would do it. That sounds cool. Totally go for that.
Yep. Is that the last of the Patreon questions?
That is the last of the Patreon questions.
Would you have it? Sorry, would you have it that you can equip both this Exilus Riven and a regular Riven?
I think that's implied.
Okay, cool. I know. I was just wondering
because otherwise that is the ultimate competition. Is like, oh, here's this Riven which is entirely utility based. Here's this Riven which is entirely damage based. You can have one damage based, damage based, damage based, damage. You'd have to have both, and it's got its own slot. The thing is, though, it would rule out use of all the other things that can go in that slot again. As soon as that slot is so that you've got these options, it would be really nice because I assume you could then have one of these Rivens with 3 utility things, and you could really scope out your different weapon types how you want them. But there's all the individual mods wouldn't even get a look in, which would be
cool.
We gotta have something for the 8th year of content of Warframe, so they'll push it back to then. Let's move on to the comments for the episode. So first of all, we have Trex Paddock, or is it Trex Paddock? Trexpa Dodoc said, "You said my name right. I'm sure I just said it wrong multiple times." Yokai1235. Warframes have spine. In fact, 2 on inside the normal one and a cybernetic one on the other layer of the Warframe. Okay. I'm not sure we've had a cut through of Warframe to that degree, but if you say so. Thanks, Loz Door reminded me of the anime that I forgot that even exist and all episodes are on YouTube. I cannot remember what anime I've reminded.
Must be Tekkaman Blade.
Is it all on YouTube?
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
this is like Gundam series. You can just get them on YouTube. It's brilliant.
Because we were talking about one of the concept arts, which was like this mantis frame, and you were like, "It's like your favorite anime." I was like, "Guyver?" It's like your second favorite anime. Tension Moyo. Your second favorite super suit anime. Tekkaman Blade. Yeah, that's the one.
I don't think I was as clever in my. I was like, the other one, the other one. Come on, man, you like it. Is how I think my brain was probably going. Let's move on. Andrew Singleton. The bigger takeaway than my problems is. Oh, sorry. And I've cut this to the last bit. I don't remember yesterday. So we prepped for yesterday, and then we just moved to today. So I was like, I cut this to like, oh yes, I remember what it is. Now I have to brain it. Andrew Singleton was talking about issues with the game and things. So the bigger takeaway than my problems, little niggling things with the game, is Scott is acting in more of a concessionary way than in past reworks. Example, Day One Oberon being in a good place, coming to mind alongside actively antagonizing players in the past. I might not agree with the direction these frames are going, but given he's actively taking suggestions and hopefully will explain moving forward why this or that either got changed or didn't, leaves me hopeful. I assume that's positive. But to me, I just want to point out that I think it is as well, because I remember for a longest time, Ember, it's been years, hasn't it? We were told, like, oh no, you can't have overheat. And it's like, no, she's fine. Oh, we're just going to nerf World on Fire. And the same for Vauban. You've got people out there saying Vauban needs this, Vauban needs this. I think he's been the bottom of polls for most useful and useful at all, compared to the heady heights that Vauban used to have. So I think, yeah, the way this rework was introduced, and it just felt more optimistic and involved.
Yeah,
like we are tackling these issues. My one hope, though, is that the one thing I've always hated in this game is bloody Well of Life for Trinity. Trinity needs to be looked at. Trinity has the problem that she's super functional, and they've only done anything but nerf her since, in odd ways, not terribly ways, I suppose. But they've never altered her kit, and some of her kit is useless. Well of Life, man. What is Well of Life? Why is Well of Life?
Yep.
Cam Hales, I'm thinking about the Kuva Lich. What happened if an operator kills the Kuva Lich? Would it then have void powers?
I can't imagine so.
Yeah. It's a good question, though.
It is a very good question. The reason why I don't think so is because the operator powers are what, remove the protection that the Kuva Guardians have. So it's like, that is like the ultimate anti-magic that neutralizes stuff. So I'm...
Asklaw says, fun fact, Google executives and higher up get bonuses based on how many projects they got off the ground and not how many are actually successful. So in my opinion, Stadia is just a bonus grab for whoever is spearheading it. I did not know it. That's how it worked at Google. That is a stupid way of running things.
Yeah.
But if that is how it is, it does make sense why so many, they just keep basically throw stuff at the wall, and anything that starts slipping off the wall, they just let it slip off because they already gave it a go. And then the things that magically are sticky to the wall, they just get support.
Well, it also encourages innovation and things like that, because there are so many companies that always take the safe bet. They never risk anything. So
Thomas Cooperstein. Can I just point out, it puts a massive amount of information, some really interesting descriptions. And I promise everyone here, that I will read every comment in an episode before we record the next one. However, I can only take like 1 point from everyone's topics. Otherwise, we would just be here talking about Thomas Cooperstein's points. There's so much. It was like a wall of text beyond walls of text. So I just want to point out, I'm just going to plug Xeno's Patreon. If you do have multiple questions that you definitely want to get aired, you should probably subscribe to Xeno's Patreon at what level for questions?
Oh no, it's any. It's from
any level.
$1 or above.
$1. So from $1 a month, you can guarantee that several of your questions get asked. I mean, there was like breakdowns on every topic, but at the very end, because I tell you, read the whole point, and I can prove this because there's something pointed out at the end. I thought it was such a good point that he made, so I have to ignore the questions to take this one point.
Yeah.
As for Stadia, because we were saying would Warframe go on Stadia, they made a very good point that Warframe is not on the Epic's game store. So if it was all about DE wanting to get on every platform as possible, there's no reason they wouldn't be on the Epic Game Store as well. So that's a fair point. They probably wouldn't be on Stadia if that's the case.
Why aren't they on the Epic Game Store?
That's a good point. Why are they not? That's curious. I don't know why they wouldn't be. There's no reason not to be, because my understanding is that they give a better cut than Steam in general.
No, but I'm wondering if the Epic Game Store isn't built to do things like a wallet or anything to do.
It's not. No, you wouldn't be able to get Tenno off of it. You'd have to.
Well, no, ignoring the Tenno, because you can't get Tenno off the standalone client either. You have to use the Steam one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But the thought that I'm having is, I don't think that there is a service on Epic Game Store that allows them to take for microtransactions. And that is what all of DE's money is, isn't it? So
maybe,
there
must be some games as a service on Epic Game Store. Well, no, there's,
I don't know,
Fortnite. Fortnite's based on the same sort of thing.
Is it?
Yeah, where you got in-game purchases.
But you've also got to consider that is Epic's own platform. Yeah, so,
it's a really odd thing. Why are they not? So great point there, Thomas Gibson. But sorry, we can't go through all your points as we'd be here just for hours doing that. However, if you do have several questions you desperately want to, because we will read out. I read out most of the community comments, but if you definitely want a question asked, and you can ask as many as you want, I think you have to subscribe to Xeno's Patreon.
Just like that. Okay, just to point out that if you do choose to subscribe to support the Patreon, you will actually be helping the arbiters and the Framecast highlights in their production. All the money goes to the editors. Nothing comes to me directly, and anything that doesn't get covered by the Patreon, I subsidize anyway. So every little that goes on the Patreon means that I don't have to.
What you mean is it's not there for you to make an additional buck. It all actually goes into production purposes for making videos.
Yep.
There we go.
Let's do good speak.
Simple speak. Loz is simple man. For Oza Shintai, 2019 feels like it has been a bad year for Warframe. Content has been thin on the ground, and now it seems like most of what was promised is going to be packed into a short stint at the end of the year. This feels worryingly like a few of the mashed Destiny videos, an ironic comparison given Destiny 2 just released a load of content on its own. It feels like DE need to almost divide their efforts, a set of long-term projects like appearing in the new war, and a set of short-term things like events that will keep people engaged while the big things are being worked on.
I wouldn't be surprised if either of those two projects, like New War or... what's the name of the damn thing?
Varian?
Yes, thank you. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those two projects turn around to be like, we're going to do these short-term projects. And then they just ballooned out of proportion.
As you said, scope creep. Yeah, so the New War, as in the first part of the New War, probably started out as like, okay, let's introduce this with a small intro quest. And then they're like, oh, but we could do this, and we could do this, and we could do this, and we could do this. And it's like, this is now the next big quest. And it's like,
I think
but it was supposed to be a small thing coming in 4 months. No, it's now a year away.
I think one of the other big things about Warframe's development is that...
Discord disconnect?
Yeah, it did some weird blip thing then. I think one of the other big weird things about Warframe's development practices is that, they're not making a Google document, they're making a video game. And I think really they need someone to be in charge of a small project team, so someone like a team that gets stuff out relatively quickly, that basically has the authority to tell, I don't know, whomever, like Steve, Sheldon, Scott, whomever, said, look, you've got me in this position to make sure that stuff comes out frequently. We're not going to produce crap. We're going to produce well thought out stuff, planned stuff. It needs to come out frequently.
Yeah.
If someone like You know.
So I think you said it better with the scope creep. And what you need is somebody who's there to go, no, keep it to this, or no, that's a great idea. We're going to put that in the next thing.
Yeah.
And not keep adding to the additional thing. Just keep piling it on. So they like, that's a great idea, but you're going to put that in the box over there for the next one. It's like, that's a great idea. I like it, but there. Instead of, right, we'll add that in. Let's move on. Very nice point there. Who was Shintai? I think I got that right, but I'm about to try and do it without looking. I got the how to say it up there. Damrod, regarding the memes, I'd love to see the Mantis in game or a proper Tekkaman blade. It was a lovely fan art that one was, wasn't it? Especially if we get that transformation crystal and the lance staff thing added in. Just imagine all the cool space fights we could do that way without Arcwing. But we can have cool space fights with Arcwing. Come on, they can fix it, man. They can fix it.
Just imagining the meme of Fry going, fix it.
Zrugel then says, small correction here, Xeno. You said Railjack was a system Steve threw together on his streams, but actually, Railjack/Hyperion was the original concept for Dark Sector. Also, still no face rig episode.
Oh, God damn it! I keep forgetting! Oh my God. I will remember to do this. I will fucking remember.
We will get it done, don't worry. We will.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting.
Right, that's it for that. Let's move on to the topics of the week.
Okay. Topic one.
I'm eyeing the clock and I'm like regimenting us a bit.
It's because I've got my mind. Our lunch is on the line.
Your lunch?
What, you're not going to eat?
I'll eat.
Okay, so topic one.
I don't.
Topic one. Mod suggestion. Companion cannot die but cannot attack. Topic 2. Scroll down. Nora Knight should introduce herself from an inbox message to new players to introduce them to Nightwave.
There.
And then topic 3. Dark and otherwise split swords should be able to switch between modes with an Alt-Fire button. Right, so topic 1. Scrolling up. Mod suggestion, companion cannot die but cannot attack. I want to suggest a unique mod that you can/should implement in the future. Defensor. No, Defensor. Yeah, okay. This mod could
Defensor.
No, but it should be a C, not an S. And an E instead of an O. Defensor.
Defensor. I guess.
Yeah.
Defensor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Terrible name!
This mod could change our companion behavior to defensive, so they stay near us, cannot attack, use weapons, but cannot die until player dies. They could use abilities. Is this really the whole... Wow, this is... Okay, so... I feel this needs more fleshing out. Like, what abilities are we talking about? Are we talking about, oh yeah, let's just open up the lockers like Mike Avat can do? Or are we talking about reviving players? Are we talking, because, I mean, one thing, this feels like it would completely undermine, oh, what's the name of the Sentinel? The one that, the Jinn? Where it's supposed to actually draw fire to it rather than the player. I think it might be the Jinn.
The Jinn. Oh,
it has one of them has an aggro.
I thought that was the. I thought, yeah, it's sort of, but I thought it also incapacitated enemies as well when they did it. It's sort of like fairy light style. Quick look. An exclusive preset. Fatal Attraction draws enemies close and deals high radial damage.
Right, there you go. I kind of feel that this
what?
What?
Sorry, the Warframe wiki love the guys, people who do the Warframe wiki, but it's just like Jin exclusive preset mods, and it's got a picture of Fatal Attraction. Then below it says Vaporize. It's like, wait, that's not Fatal Attraction. You click it, and it takes you to the Death Cube Vaporize, not the Jin's Fatal Attraction.
Good job.
Good job on linking there. Not quite right. Sorry. Like, right, how does Fatal Attraction work? So what if I click on here? It vaporizes, deals 600 damage. Like, not quite.
That sounds wrong. They haven't updated that. Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Obviously, they've just copied and pasted one of the other ones. And
but the point is... The rest of my sentence.
Yes.
Point is that I kind of feel that this would undermine a lot of what the animal companion... just the companions in general are meant to do. So either help players kill things, capture things, whatever. It just feels like I don't know what the... Maybe we should look at the replies, because I'm not getting what this is for apart from some hidden purpose. I don't know what it is. What are you thinking?
I swear we had this topic quite recently, but mainly we were talking about Sentinels.
I want to say recently, but yeah.
I think maybe, I mean, when I mean recently, I mean in the last 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
That's recently.
Okay. I mean, in the grand scheme of doing this for 6 years, yeah, you're right. Wait, have we hit our anniversary? Shit, this might be our anniversary episode.
It's 11, it can't be, it must be rounded into 2.
No, but we missed a week, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we?
So what's 52 times 6?
You know what would be the easiest thing? Is just to go to bloody your channel and just look at the...
I think it's like the 13th of October.
Look at the first episode of... If I can... I can't type. 6 years, that's what it is, I can't type.
10 o'clock, episode 1.
Let's go playlist. God.
Looking out.
Trying to find it. Random complaint. Why does YouTube do all these random changes to their interface and things? And the one thing that they still haven't improved on is because you've got these massive channels that pump out so many channels. Yours does a lot of videos, but there's some that do insane amounts of videos. And playlist. But they have not come up with a better way of letting you cycle through them. Like, for instance,
you can search on the channel itself.
I could, but that's just effort, man.
Oh my god.
When I want to just go, I want to just find this thing like this.
Who's going to find it first?
I'm there. 5 years ago, it says October 14th.
October 14th. So this will come out. Oh my god, on the 6th anniversary.
It even comes out on the right day.
Oh my god.
I completely forgot.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Right. So we've been doing this for 6 years on the dot.
Oh god, there's so many we don't even remember. This has broken me.
Anyway.
So right, next week we'll have to just no, we can't, because next week we're just doing a quick episode because 6 to 8 months recent. Got it right. Okay. So we spoke about this for Sentinels. I cannot see a reason for this apart from some kind of cheesy exploit, like I'm just using my companion for vacuum. Like it just feels like it's a passive. No, see, I think we agreed that it would actually be okay for Sentinels because you're getting the utility. Because Sentinels have, in a lot of situations, are so frail.
Yeah.
That this would remove the combat element to them and allow you to gain access to that utility over a long time. I think a great example is when we did so far the 24-hour streams. I both times took a Sentinel with me. I think I forgot by the second time. I'll never do this again. Even with the new mods where they get the regenerating and vulnerability, they just do not sustain themselves. They will just disappear. And once it's gone, it's gone. Any long-term... So that obviously it wouldn't play for 24 hours, but let's say a 2-hour-long survival, you can easily lose your Sentinel. And the only way to get it back is to lose a revive to... Yeah, apart from the Jin, actually, I do believe. Hang on, let me just correct myself. I'm pretty sure that the Jinn has, yes, upon death, automate rise itself after 90 seconds. So the Jinn can do that, but other Sentinels can't. And to be honest, I just think that should be a baseline mod, is what it should be, instead of just a specific one for the Jinn. But that's why we were suggesting it for that. This is obviously suggesting it for companions as well. So, but if you take away the Kubro's and Kavat's aggressive abilities, which is that the fact that you don't kind of control them and they're more free roaming and they're doing things, what are they going to do? They're just going to sit there and do their utility thing?
Yeah.
And that feels... I mean, with Sentinels not losing their gun, I often take the gun off my Sentinel, the attacking precept. For the Helios, for instance, I just want you to scan things. So I don't want you to kill them because I want you to scan them.
Yeah.
The carrier, I'm like, I don't really care too much. Just give me ammo. It's like, fair enough. So I can see that in those. Or Shade. It's like, I don't want you to shoot things. I want you to stealth me. I think Shade could be doing looking. But to be honest, I'm really sad of what they did with Death Cube. It just needed more. Anyway. I think with Kubro's Kavats and Mowers. I often forget Mowers are in there. They did them wrong. Awful. What did a riot mower?
Yeah.
Sorry. Make me sad.
We...
I think that I think as before we suggested, this would be okay for Sentinels. I don't think this would be a good addition to companions as a whole.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's the thing that's the thing with the Sentinels one is you're losing the damage aspect. You're gaining something in that because they're so weak. It's a band-aid almost fix to the fact that they just die, they're gone for good, but you have to lose the weapon attack for it. So that's fair enough. With the other ones, you already can revive your pets, your cats and your Kubros and your Mowers, I think, as well. Can you pick Mowers up?
Pretty sure you can pick Mowers.
Pretty sure. So you already have that. Yes, you have to go do it, but they have quite long bleed out times if you mod them, and you probably do mod them for it. So, and everyone must save cat. So I don't think they need it, and it's more interesting that I actually like that because it's more interesting to play. It's you're not picking up players. You got to pick up if you don't look after it, your pet. So I think if this should be added, it is the Sentinel only edition is what it should be.
Yeah, okay, should we see what the...
Yep, community responses.
Mm-hmm.
First reply, would love that. Only taking Samita to missions because of charm and not for fighting at all.
That's not why you take Samita, don't lie.
Why'd you take Samita?
It's the luck kitty, it's the one that actually gets resources to drop more.
Oh, is that not... what's charm do?
Charm makes the enemies attack for you sort of thing for a very brief period, but no one fucking uses that. Everyone uses the Smita for Kavat for farming.
Yeah. Next reply. I wish there was a way to disable their fighting AI. I always play Aniros to avoid my cat dying in Kuva floods. You can't 1v1 a level 100 Kuva Guardian cat. Stop trying. I wish I could play other frames that have good survivability, but having my cat die every 20 seconds is way too annoying.
I think at that point
they're bringing a Smita to try and get more Kuva, and yeah, so maybe mod it.
But it's a level 100 Guardian. What the hell do you expect? I mean, I would argue that the mod build that player has
needs looking into.
Yeah, because
also the frame. What the frame are they using?
Well, they're saying Aniros. So because
but
obviously.
Wait, it uses health link. Wouldn't that have a massive health pool for the
Yeah, that's the point.
And it's still going down every 20 seconds.
No. They're saying that they take an Iros so it doesn't go down every 20 seconds. Yeah? I wish I could play other frames.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I wish I could play other frames that have good survivability, but having my cat die every 20 seconds is way too annoying.
But, in all honesty, I take Oberon and I do not experience this. Right? I take things like Wisp. Yeah, I experience this all the bloody time. I take things like Nezha. Yep. But there are other Warframes that have high survivability. This is, yeah. But this does lead to the whole, I'm doing this for farming. What's the next one?
That seems pretty useless if we're talking about dogs, cats. They can be revived. Nice. Sentinels, on the other hand, once they die, they're gone. A way of reviving Sentinels would be most welcome from my part instead of that defensor mod. To be honest, just make the Jinns reawaken baseline.
Yeah.
And make it that the Jinn revives on full health or has a damage buff upon reawakening. Just rework the Jinn's reawakening to give it something bonus when it comes back, and give the reawaken mod to all Sentinels.
Yeah,
just a bit of baseline one. Yeah, so give a baseline mod or just make it baseline, but then add in that there's the Jinn reawaken, which is super powerful, so it does the reawakening as well, and one mod slot is better. That just yeah. Do you know, it makes me want to use the Jinn because I like Sentinels, but it just doesn't do anything useful.
Yeah.
Or maybe what it's useful, what it's doing, I don't find useful. Anyway. Perhaps they instead received damage reduction per level. A damage reduction per level mod on Sentinels and Companions is in they take less damage, which would also affect dots, which is one of the ways I think they often get killed. I think that could help.
Actually,
if they had the what's that? Is it adaptation?
Adaptation. That's what I was about to say.
Adaptation for Sentinels would be good.
Well, just companions.
Companions. Yeah. Just companions. I think that'd be another good way of doing it.
Oh.
Last one is honestly, I'm sick of companions getting one shot and not being able to do anything. Stupid Sentinels being destroyed easily and impossible to bring back, and idiotic pets getting chained down because they don't even have a goddamn invincibility period for when they get rezzed. Often staying immobile and letting everyone and their mother fire at him. Might be a she. I don't know. I would entirely forget about damage forever if a mod like this appears, or basically anything that will let companions actually survive in high levels. But I think the crux of the issue is there at the end. I think companions are great, but they don't scale, but the enemies do, and they're not really considered how is this supposed to be used in a level 200 situation.
But I think part of the problem is that DE want to make sure that you're not...
I think those levels? Yes, they do.
Yeah, so I think they need to incentivize players to leave when they want. So if it's a case of typically if my cat dies, I'm like, okay, it's dead. Just keep going. I think the last point is probably the most prevalent, but it feels like this is for, I just want to be able to just, use the companions for their utility and nothing else. I want to farm all the resources.
I give you that with Smeeta, but I would say this is definitely an issue for
companions in
high level play, super high level play, and Sentinels in general.
I think just give them their own adaptation.
I think that, seeing as I think it's repeated damage from one source. Like one thing I often find with Sentinels is they easily get clipped by Toxic Ancients clouds, which then at high levels does stupid damage to them. If they had adaptation, that damage would then get percentage reduced down to a tiny level. I think that might be the ways, you might fix the issue there.
Should DE introduce companion adaptation? I think the answer to this is just a flat out yes.
I like it. Yeah, it's good. It would be a decent mod, which I think some of the builds of some of the companions are a bit mod heavy already, but this one actually be very decent for survivability. So taking it would be a good choice. Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Xeno and MDRLOz solving all the issues of Warframe. One
since
companion
2013.
Yeah. So, and I do strongly recommend that people, go into the cards. There's a cog in the bottom right-hand corner underneath MDRLOz. Click on that. Make sure you got annotations. It is annotations, isn't it? Turned on? Yeah. And then put your vote in. Sometimes you can only see it on mobile. Sometimes you can see it.
So no. Let's point this out. So, right, what you want to do if you can't see the cards, you need to click the cog turn on annotations, right? Then click off that menu. Then in the top left, there's an I. Top right.
Yeah.
The letter I. Click that, and then a menu will slide out. Sometimes ad blockers block this. You might, if this process hasn't worked, do try it with a different web browser or a phone. I think it works on phones.
Yeah, phone's the easiest thing to do, but it's just annoying because you might be listening on PC and it's anyway. Right, so I think that's it for that topic. Nothing really to follow up with. No,
that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. Right.
Second topic. Right. I'm looking at topic 3. Right. Nora Knight should introduce herself from an inbox message to new players to introduce them into Nightwave. Furthermore, Nightwave should not be available from the very beginning of the game because too much information's thrown to new players and most of the challenges known as acts are unable to be completed by new players. New players be like, oh no, I will never be able to get that cool looking cosmetic. How will I ever get it when how slow I am to rank up this Nightwave thing sad. Also, the cred offerings store should be available at all times, even between each series, and remaining creds from series should be converted into some kind of normal Nightwave creds, so players can still use them to buy whatever they want in the store. Okay, and I did read that verbatim. Right. I'm totally on board for Nora Knight introducing what Nightwaves are. One of the things that Warframe does... I want to say, one thing that Warframe does well is it relies on other people to teach you how to play the game. That's not a good thing.
No.
So... How to do this? How would be the best way to deal? I think the best thing to do is do a simple introduction and say, hey, I'm Nora Knight, I do the Nightwave stuff. Would you have it just break the fourth wall like some Nintendo games? It's just like, oh, press the B button. I'm like, where's the
No.
So what we do?
As I said earlier, the game does a good job of introducing Darvo through quest. You learn, he's a shady operator and he's a dealer. You're like, oh, okay, this is a Darvo character. I know of Darvo now. The game should withhold Nightwave. Maybe Nightwave should be the follow-up quest to... I think introducing Nightwave could be the follow-up quest to... False Prize, when Nora introduces herself, lets her know, you're a new Tenno on the system. She can appreciate that you're a new Tenno, and not who she is. Because the mystery there. But she can say like, I'll direct you to the new to what dangers are out, what's currently out there. It'd be interesting. So I know there are points where Nightwave isn't up, but if it was a set quest that carries you in, that way you would know of what it is. It could even have its own one-day Nightwave interface or something, so you can get used to the interface if we're when we're in an intermission period. But at some point, it would be great if there's so many systems in Warframe now. There's just so many. If a new player came back, even some people who I've made play the game in the past, and they finally came back, I'd have to explain like what Nightwave is, how does Nightwave work, what are we doing at the moment, is it worth me playing this current Nightwave? And you'd have to explain it all. They should, for the new player experience, decide, right, when do we want them to know about X system? How do we introduce X system, right? When do we do it? So that's when we do it. Bam, there, bam, there, bam, there. When do we introduce Conclave? When do we introduce this? There's nothing wrong with, maybe the way quests work need to be reduced as well, so we can have a quest log, so to speak. Because, most games you have a quest log. You don't, in Warframe, you do one quest at a time. You are doing quests now. Why isn't there a quest? So you can have a lingering breadcrumb quest like Teshin saying, "Come see me, Tenno." And you have Nora Knight saying, "I will let you know if you just contact me." then you could have Maru saying, "Hey, Tenno, come see me on my ship thing."
So I think there should be two options to this, right? I love the idea of the quest. Don't get me wrong, I am 100% in favor for the quest. Yeah, I like the idea that maybe the Lotus sends you on a mission, and then it turns out Nora Knight has sent another operative who has failed, right? Because they're not a Warframe. You have coexisting tasks, and then basically she introduces you to the Nightwave system by I've got this thing here, go check it out, hit the escape menu, go in the bottom right, and it just introduces the player properly on how to do the acts of a Nightwave. So I think that's a really good thing. And I'd also love to see the interaction between the Lotus and Nora Knight, because thus far they have not interacted in the slightest. They're not on speaking terms. But
yeah,
that's more of a plot thing that I want to see happen. The alternative. So I've recently had this. I went back to Destiny 2 for the first time in God knows how long on Thursday night, and I was so lost. I'm like, this is not where we normally landed. This is like trying to direct a friend who never played the game before to start the game's campaign was like, yeah, you do not start the game in the campaign.
If I load it now, can I have a look? Where am I going to land?
You land.
You don't start. So if I make a new character, it doesn't start in the campaign.
Nope. It doesn't start in the campaign, right? And we had to try and work out how to direct this person. Like, we were going to share. Sorry, Michelle was going to share his screen on Discord to show this is what you're looking for, and we couldn't even do that. And it was so hard to try and talk through, because Destiny 2's user experience is so garbage. Like, no, it's not bad, but it's so tailored to what you have previously experienced. The fact that menu actions alternate between left mouse and right mouse is a huge UX no-no. Like, everything should remain consistent in terms of what to do, because when people are trying to think, oh, where could I find this option to invite a player to my fire team, like, they would have some semblance of knowing how to do it, right?
Right.
I got them into the clans exclusively to make it easier to invite them into the game, right? I'm pretty sure I couldn't even do it through Steam's friends list, which was... Anyway.
I think the sad thing about it is it's designed for a console controller.
Let's move back to Warframe here. I think the least they could do is have a sensibly formatted wall of text in the game that just explains what each system is, what Conclave is, right? What Nightwave is, what the sorties are, so on and so forth. And if you want to make it so that you don't have access to these systems until certain points in the game, like you have to complete Sire's Vigil in the Majiggers. What's the Majiggers? LOZ and Majiggers. Plains of Eidolon. Then fine, do that. But I think just saying like Nightwave is a system that sets you tasks every Monday, gives you 1 week to do them. You have daily tasks, you have weekly tasks. These are the rewards. Just basically spell it out. Put pictures in the actual diagrams, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's... I think that's the bare minimum they could do. And at least give keywords for people to sort of search online, as opposed to nothing at all.
Mm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But I'm totally down for the quest.
Yeah. No, I can see that being useful. Focusing it, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to replies?
let's go for replies. I do want to pull a card out of this, but yeah.
Okay. I agree 100% about store being available between night waves. We can use our cred from the last season.
I'm against that.
Yeah, I think it is nice the way they round off the season. It is tricky because I think they're better at it now. I think we're going to have 1 week of downtime between intermissions. Now that they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Where have I been dumped? What the?
Have you started up? Yeah.
Wait, no. Why is it unlocked all these destinations? I had a character on Destiny 2 that had done 0 of the story.
Yeah.
It was max geared for each period that I played it.
Yeah.
And I just did it through killing mobs. Just see, could you do that? But I couldn't get off Earth. It was stuck on Earth. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Now the game's just like, oh yeah, you've got all these places. I'm like, but what? But then how do I do the story? What the? And then the game just dumps you here. I'm like, but wait, no, it's at the tower. I haven't done the story. I shouldn't be able to get to the tower. What?
Yeah, I know, right? It's super confusing.
Is the basic story gone?
No, the basic story is available. So you have to go to Amanda Holiday, right? Who's on the opposite side of the base.
Yeah.
Right? Go quote unquote purchase. You pick up the campaigns from her, right? And then you sort of like start them. And it's a mess. It is like so jarring to a new player.
Yeah, I'm tempted to exit now. Right, I'm tempted to make a new player and just is that you just get dumped in the city?
Yep,
that's where you get dumped.
Yeah.
So obviously they've done it as just a universal point. Everyone gets put here because I noticed that my gear levels were the same as well. And then they were like, okay, and so that they're trying to make every player on the same level, and then they can build them from there. But that's just so jarring. Why not put people?
Yeah.
Why not put the vendor right near the spawn?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's just ridiculous.
It's like there is people complain about Warframe's user experience that you just get dumped in it. This is worse. This is just like as I said, I haven't played for months, right? And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It is so goddamn jarring.
Right. I don't see there being much benefit to removing access to Nightwave until a certain point, but I mean maybe hiding it until they complete the Nata quest. That would ensure they have a solidish footing into the game without actually making any major restrictions, which is pretty important to do so earlier than that. But I don't think you don't want to unload all these things on new players as soon as the War's Prize is finished. You want to deal them out slowly. Instead, it's just like War's Prize and everything.
Yeah.
They expect us to take it lightly that one day, out of literally nowhere, someone who we don't even know who the heck is going to begin sending messages. Sorry, I have to hit verbatim. They expect us to take it lightly that one day, out of literally nowhere, someone who we don't even know who the heck is began sending messages in that radio, and then began rewarding us for doing a bunch of random actions that have little connection to the story she is telling. You sat down! Points!
Oh, God. Points mean prizes.
Yep.
Just to cover back on that, I do not like the idea of losing the exclusivity to the Nightwave rewards. Like, I wouldn't want my Operator Guyver suit to come back. I would maybe come back in some kind of variant, but not the one that I have. Like the whole Judgment gear from World of Warcraft.
What are you talking about? Oh, you don't want? No, they are coming back. What, the suit from the infested operator suit?
Yeah,
they're coming back. They said at the end of the first Nightwave that rewards for the Nightwave will come back in later Nightwaves as purchasable things.
Oh, okay, fine. Then maybe if it's just a while later, because we haven't had the
nothing from the Wolf of Saturn 6 has come back yet.
Right. Okay.
I imagine maybe the next Nightwave, or probably the fourth Nightwave, you'll see stuff from Wolf of Saturn 6 come back as optional stuff. which means you get a period of exclusivity for it.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with
that.
And
it might be very expensive. It might be that you have to save up a lot of cred. But then there's the question of, are we making it so that people, because for lower level players, they're going to want to spend their cred on the Tain. So maybe it'll come back as the end of an intermission reward, and like a long intermission with a high amount of things. You never know. Yeah. Because what is it we got? Was it the Wolf armor set? That was it.
Yeah.
That'll come back at some point, probably at the end of an intermission. But yeah. You know what would be a great pun to go with, though, as a pre. You know what would be a great pun to go with, though, as a pre-quest for Nightwave? Require completion of the Stolen Dreams quest. Great pun? Point, maybe, to go with, though? Completion of Stolen Dreams. Stolen Dreams. Which one was Stolen Dreams?
I don't know.
Maru.
Okay.
That's a fair one. Because I see Nora Knight as kind of like the same level as Maru. So, yeah. That'd be a good point.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite an early quest. I could look up where it was, but yeah. That's it for that topic.
Cool. I think I want to ask people... What do I want to ask? Do you feel that Nightwave credits should persist or convert? What do you think?
Should what?
Because one of the points that they had in the original post was that Nightwave credits, so like the Embassy credits or the Wolf creds or whatever, they should convert into normal Nightwave credits. I'm against this.
So you're saying you're making a
universal credit.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Should we ask this? I feel we should ask this. I was just like, yes. Should seasonal threads...
So basically what you're saying is you want to add in a 100% open store, which is called, let's call it the Nora store, which uses Nora points.
Yeah.
And at the end of a season, instead of your points becoming credits, they get converted into Nora points. And the point of the Nora store is to have things like Natain and resources.
That's what the original post is saying. I am personally against this, but everyone is different. And I'm trying to remember how to do this by going up here. That's why. Wrong monitor.
Yeah, whatever they want. I see. The thing is, sorry, I missed that bit about the original post. So players can still use them to buy whatever they want. You see, I don't. If I was going to do it this way, the permanent store would only have things like the Natain catalysts. I think are catalysts in there, that kind of stuff. But it would be more expensive than the in-season ones, and it's just there to burn off your credits that you forgot to spend. And maybe it would be more expensive.
No,
maybe not the Natain,
I'm against this. I'm against this because
it wouldn't have any of the helmets. I mean, it would just be that's all. It's just the resources.
But I'm against this because it just turns into another. Oh, I've just got like a bajillion Nora creds.
No. Yeah, but otherwise it just turns into credits, and you got a bajillion credits anyway. So
yeah, and that's like no, just sod it, just fucking wipe them out. Like no one's forcing you to get more credits than you need, So no, I'm totally for wiping them out. That's one of the reasons why I think Argon crystals work so well. Don't have recipes that need a bajillion fecking Argon crystals like we need with Cryotic and the Cyber Hammer ace thing. Right. Should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Dark and otherwise, split swords should be able to switch between modes with an alt-fire button. Since we're already talking about an Xless mod for melee weapons coming with 3.0 update, why not have the extra mod slot be, in the case of split swords, a second stance mod instead, with functionality added to switch somehow between the two stances. There's basically a wasted opportunity to create an immensely awesome kind of melee combat by switching the forms of weapons, and I see no reason against it. Edit, switching weapons shouldn't be limited to this one case. Okay. I'm a huge slut for The Last Jedi, and those sexy red Snoke guards had at least one double sword that split into two, and a single blade that broke into a whip. Those are things I want to see in Warframe. Don't worry about Loz. Loz has just moved his webcam up so he can just cry in utter agony that apparently this person liked The Last Jedi.
I refuse. I'm back. There we go. Right. No. Right. Do you know people have broken down The Last Jedi so many different ways now? That scene with the people.
Yeah.
It's one shot, so they did it in one take. That's what they wanted.
It's not one take.
So many choreographing. Is it one take?
No, there's no way in hell that's what I remember so many different camera angles. There's so many cuts in that. It's not one take.
Well, I think that they do the whole sequence in one take, and they record it from different angles.
Oh, okay.
I think, or something like that. There is so many points they're missing their cues, and they just do random things to accommodate. That's where they have to go.
Yeah.
Right. And then you know about the photoshopped weapon.
No.
There's a point, guy who with the two daggers.
Yeah.
It goes behind Rey's back.
Yeah.
And then when you see it, it's gone. They photoshopped it out because literally he just had to do this to kill Rey. Just stab up.
God.
And I will find you a video at some point that where they show it and they break it down. They literally photoshopped out the other weapon. It just disappears. There's no. It wouldn't. Either or he dropped it, but there's no way that it just disappears. It literally is that he just had to do this, and he would have killed Rey, and that would be the end of it. And there's so many other points where it's like there's another bit where she's holding a blade like that, and then she drops it and does the slap back. But at that point, the other guy is pushing down on her with her sword,
and he could keep going.
As soon as she lets go, he should be like, "What? I win." There's no. It looks cool that does the whole drop thing, but it's like no, it'd be like, "Well, you're dead."
Yeah, I know that
it's awful.
It
looks great. It's a great. It's the whole point of that film. The whole film is visually lovely. It's got good sets, got good music. It's got good visuals. There's no substance there, and that is just the exemplifies it. That there's a fight scene. Compare that to the fight with Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
But like one of the hilarious things, I always try to
so much. Yeah.
I try to promote their channel as because I quite like them. Corridor Digital or Corridor Crew, YouTube.com/Corridor Crew.
Yeah.
They on a weekly basis now. They actually do breakdowns of various different things, and they actually have a stunt guy or a couple of stunt guys come in and actually talk about like the choreography and things like that, or how dangerous a stunt is. Apparently, there's one of the stunt guys that they get in has actually been the stunt guy for the Punisher in what's the name of the Daredevil TV series and things like that. So he's done quite a lot of stuff. This guy's like built like a brick shit house, but he's like also been put on fire and things. And he actually points out loads of the flaws that you're highlighting of that scene, where things like the red guys, like they're ready to.
What are these called? Because I'd love this. I love watching Last Jedi teardowns.
Right. So YouTube.com/Corridor Crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it'll be like some
right. So if I just scroll down a bit and then just type find Last Jedi, I do about a year and a half's worth. There we go. Find last. Find.
I'll find it. It's
Jedi?
Put in like React. It'll be like Stuntmen React or something like that.
Oh, okay. Stuntmen React. Okay, to Great Hollywood Stunts Part 6. Oh, I see. So it's going to be in one of them, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
Yeah.
But like they tear down so many things like VFX effects, stunt effects, all sorts of stuff like to do with Hollywood productions and stuff like that. I really want them to do the Warcraft movie. I really do. I want them to see what they say about the Warcraft movie. But yeah, it's like apparently at one point in time you could actually visually see this one guy that has like these like giant boxing gloves or anything in the background, and he's sort of like shimmying there, right, waiting to jump into the fight. And he's just like, hold on, but you could just jump in and fucking knock out Rey right now because she's dealing with someone else.
Yeah, that is. It's always the thing with martial arts fights. The old ones with like Bruce Lee and things. If you look in the background, there's always like martial artists doing this in the background, like waiting for that kill. But it should that's another time and another sort of level of production than the newer stuff that shouldn't have that.
Anyway, enough of a rant on what's called Outback the Last Jedi.
Last Jedi, sorry, yes, okay. So what did they like about it? The snow guards, they did look cool. At least double swords split into two. Yeah, that is a cool concept. And it is, you have that in other bits of Star Wars as well, with the double lightsabers that sometimes break and they can sometimes use them as two somehow.
Also, the whip sword, that's taken from Soul Calibur. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I suppose Soul Calibur definitely the most popular one. I bet you, it probably is in some ancient Chinese movie or Japanese movie of martial arts where they've got like a sword. And there's probably people going, I'm sure it's somewhere. But let's go back to the thing. They're saying there's basically a wasted opportunity to create an immensely awesome kind of melee combat by switching the forms of weapons, and I see no reason against it. The wasted opportunity. Now, this is exactly what that weapon was supposed to do. They couldn't do it.
Do we have confirmation that that's what it was
supposed to do? They said that. I'm pretty... Yeah, they said originally that was what this was going to do. But the game's not set up for you to have two completely different set of melee weapons equipped and then swap between them. The game... I'm pretty... Someone could probably find the actual dev stream, but I'm 90% sure that Jeff explained that the game's just not set up for it.
I'm also sure Scott said something about the back-end code for it as well.
It's back-end stuff, so it's between the animation sets lining up and making it swap between them when you're using the different things, and then as Scott was saying, so swapping between weapons. The game was set up as in, I imagine, there's always going to be not spaghetti code,
No, there will be. I'm sure there will be at some point in time. In Warframe, there will be spaghetti code. They are de-spaghettifying.
But that's obviously because as you say, with your what is it? Scope creep.
Yeah.
This was never within the original scope to have crazy melee weapons that did this.
Yeah.
Hell, the melee weapon was originally just a 3-hit combo and a charge attack. That was it, and that was what it's supposed to do. And now it has to do all these other bajillions of other things. It has to have all these other mods and.
So one of the big things for Bloodborne, I remember Bloodborne.
You play Bloodborne?
No, I watched the Game Grumps play the whole thing.
Right.
So one of the big things of Bloodborne is you can swap your weapon into two different stances. One which is a close range quick attack, and I think it does less damage, versus a long range slow attack that does more damage. So it's like, which kind of stance are you going to use sort of thing at which time, and it's sort of like effectively a glorified switchblade of an axe, right? And that's the sort of thing that Warframe could benefit from. But the problem is that, a build for a weapon that's fast and frequent is completely different from one that is slow and damaging. I also realize that fast and frequent are the same thing. So
vast and frequent.
No, fast.
Oh, fast.
Yeah,
I said vast.
Yeah, no, fast and frequent. So fast and light damage versus slow and big damage. You'd build them differently. So does that mean you have to have two mod sets for the two different states that the weapon can be in? Or would you have to configure it so that when the weapon is in, one mode, it uses the first profile of your weapon, and then when it's in the other mode, it uses the second profile of the weapon? Or do you have to be able to configure those two profiles? Like, right, so when you're in this mode, you're using this profile, and when you're in this mode, you're using this profile, right?
Well, I thought that's what it would be. It would have two separate mod builds.
No, but my point was, would it be a case of, would you see two mod builds for each profile? So you know how you have the ABC profiles?
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it gets crazy complicated. So then you have to consider, right, so way back when this was first discussed, we're talking years ago now. So I'm going to say 3 to 4 years ago, maybe even 5, we're talking about the Dark Split Sword, which can't split, and they were trying to minimize on memory usage and things like that. Now, today, PCs have like crazy amount of RAM. So, PCs have crazy amounts of RAM that, we don't necessarily have to worry too much about how holding on to this extra information. I'm going to sneeze again. In memory, but at the same time, we do have to make sure that we're not just overkilling. Right? Yes, I'd love to see a whip sword. Yes, I'd love to see a switchblade axe. Yes, I'd love to see the dark switch sword turn into 1 to dual swords. I'd love to see all this sorts of stuff. The question is it beneficial for them to put this in? Right? And
I think it'd be a lot more work for the actual reward.
I think they need to finalize Melee 3.0 before they could even contemplate doing something like this, because Melee has always been on is it like on a back foot? Is that the right term?
Playing second fiddle?
Effectively, yes. Yeah, that's a much better way of saying it. Playing second fiddle to gunplay. I play Warframe. I rarely ever see anyone just focus on Melee. Right? Even when, look, someone's close range and is attacking me, shoot them more. It's so Melee needs to do more. I mean, this was something I remember years ago me saying, like, Melee should be improved. Like, it should have like a damage advantage over name of the damn thing.
Rifles and pistols?
Yeah, additionally, it should be able to close the gap easily. And so
they need to do more with buffs where you have to swap between them.
Yeah.
If you're putting the effort in to use the rifle, the pistol, the melee, and it could also alternate. So sometimes it's like, instead of just going in a pattern, sometimes you're using a pistol and you get your melee buff up. It says quick swap to melee, so you do some melee attacks. And then it says quick swap to rifle, and then it might just say quick swap back to melee again. So that you have to actually think, right, what am I using to keep this buff going? And that buff could be really hot damage, very high damage, but you have to keep playing the game. You have to keep using all 3 weapons equally, as it says. But instead, let's be fair, you can just run around with rifles.
Yeah.
Just shoot everything.
Yeah. So, I really think, I wouldn't be opposed to going, okay, so we're going to use guns up until like level 100, and then we're going to focus on our melee because the melee can surpass it further. I like the fact that melee has the whole combo system, the combo count, not the actual animations and things. I like the fact that it has the combo count in the bottom right hand corner, the combo multiplier, that's the one. But it's just, it still has a weakness versus, actually, yeah, I mean, one thing they could do is have enemies that they're always closing the gap, and they're Metal Gear Solid, the first one.
Metal Gear.
The fact that you had Cyborg Ninja, who was, you couldn't shoot him, right? Unless you fired a rocket launcher at him.
Yeah.
Right? You had to melee him. You could actually have an enemy in the game that, has something like, it's got weird mechanical arms that can react sort of almost instinctively to bullets being shot at it. But so if you're meleeing it, you have to be different. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Well, they have tried to do this with mobs, which you have to melee to kill. I think the first one they meant was the executors.
Yeah.
The ones that drop the Vahek. Yeah, but you just shoot them.
Yeah, shoot them.
They don't really have any method of closing that. But then they combine it. There's other Grineer which can actually teleport right to you. I think Flame Blades. Yeah. I don't get why they didn't give that to the mob, which is highly resistant to weapons fire. So it's like, right, you're here now. I have to at least duel you. Very strange. Again, half-finished concept, sadly.
Maybe an enemy could exist where they're fast, and they're
fast.
They
also sorry.
No, they're fast, but the idea is that they will stay behind you unless you get your melee out. It's a bit fourth wall breaking because why don't they just stay behind you even when you have your melee out?
Right, so they teleport. If you try and attack them with rifles, they teleport behind you. You have to then turn around and melee them to stop them.
Yeah.
Just constantly teleport behind you. That could work. It's simple, effective. I like it. Could be interesting.
It's kind of weird.
If you're just shooting a whole pack of mobs and you don't even see what one's in there, your active shooting one teleports you behind you. If you just ignore it, it'll just start backstabbing you. That could be cool.
Cool, the Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawlers. Right, you're adding Nightcrawlers again. Right, anyway, let's back to this person's suggestion. Do we think... Wait, I'd missed this, did you?
What did I miss?
The bit when they say about calling the arc gun.
Wait, what? Calling in the arc gun?
Oh, sorry, my brain is gone. That's in the replies.
Okay.
I was like, let's do the replies. Wait, is this the topic? It's the replies, so let's talk about it, Right, should we go to replies?
Yeah, go for it.
Split swords are such a cool weapon in concept. It's a shame they aren't used more. It'd be a bit of a pain to mod for both HB split, and so I assume that's heavy blade and dual sword split, though, as dual sword is crit and heavy blade is status, but that does open up for some condition and overload play if it's done between combos, and I'm all for that.
Yeah. But it's like putting a huge thing into the game that may rarely get used.
The only way I could think they could do it is, and I'm thinking back end as well here and linking up things. I'm not an expert, but it's just thing. Right, okay. There's one mod build for the thing, right? But when you, let's say, do a heavy attack, you swap between them. No, it would have to be. Here's how I think you could do it. It's one weapon. Whenever you do a ground slam, if it's not in big sword mode, it becomes big sword mode. Whenever you do a charge attack, if it's not, it goes into dual mode, right? And then the way it's working in the back end, I mean, visually, it's somehow coded to do the different things. It's that's still gonna have to be jank to make that work. But then all it's really doing is that when you're in in big sword mode, it gives you an increase to, let's say, range and reduces your speed of the swings. And then when it's in dual sword mode, it reduces your range but increases speed. Maybe you get a little bit of status and crit played with it. But it does a sort of hidden buff to stats, and then it just swaps what it would have to use the different animation set. But all it's really doing is just doing an invisible buff of your stats. Like, it just applies a quick buff. It wouldn't actually be a completely different weapon. I think that's the only... It just gives you some weird hidden temporary buffs that while you're in those different modes.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to make it work. It unless you completely redesign at the back end of the game to make it accommodate.
No. I'm thinking about it. No, I don't agree. I like the idea of it being able to swap into those modes, but I don't think that should be the only way it swaps. I think that there should just be an additional, you hit the Alt Fire button and it will also just swap.
Maybe you could do that as well. Or maybe, yeah, you could hit the Alt Fire, but I'm not sure. There's also reload, I guess, when you...
Yeah, reload.
Melee's up in the air, yeah. But I think it should... The only way to do it would be... because you could do it today if you put in a weapon that doesn't visually change and doesn't have any animation changes, but just is able to do some hidden buffs on yourself. Yeah. That could function, I'm sure, because we have weapons that proc buffs all the time. So it then has to proc a visual change in your Warframe, and then has to change what animation sets are hooked up. And I think that would then be the trickiest bit. but it wouldn't be like all these people are thinking they can have separate builds and use. It would have to have its own combo thing that's just for it, or be a mag on one anyway. But then they're kind of getting rid of all the big janky animations anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
So maybe, but I think it's a nice concept, but you'd have to start the game from the ground up for this. I think it's next one. It'd also be great to be able to use the two-handed katana stance on Paracesis. I mean, come on, look at the thing. Well, it was meant to be a two-handed katana, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they never actually got that out until the Tatsu, so
maybe they should retcon it, or we should upgrade the Paracesis to the Paracesis.
I at this point in time, I'm just like, just go get Melee 3.0 done, and then we can work from there. Because without a good base, you can't really.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You shouldn't be playing on the small scale things when you haven't sorted out the
big scale
base. Yeah, the overall big scale thing. It's fine. I always thought having 2 or 3 melee weapons instead of 2 guns would be fun if given the option, since I'm mostly a melee user. Clearing some enemies with the Atarex, throw the glaive from far away, switching to the Arca for the insane slam attack midair could be fun as hell. Yeah, I like the idea. I'm not sure if the game's set up to do that, though. I think it would get confused. How would you... No, I don't think the game could accommodate at all, because especially now with the way that melee swaps from rifles.
Yeah.
It's not a separate weapon anymore. It's kind of a sub-weapon. Next one. I have a suggestion for this. Use similar coding for when you call in the arc gun. If the player equips the Dark Split Sword, make the game let him equip 2 separate melee for stat variations. DSS Heavy Blade form and DSS Dual Blade form. Just like how arc gun is already equipped. Even without you calling it in, you can see the arc gun silhouette appear briefly behind your Warframe when transitioning from Cetus Gate to Plains. If game is not coded to let the player equip 2 melees, use the Xenostar logic. Xenostar can switch stats depending if the disc is deployed or not. Right, so we already have had weapons which have weird invisible buffs. That's fine.
But the big thing is, it's the mod builds and stuff like that. So that
which the arc gun technically has. I can see that they have a fair point here. Is that what they've done is they have to add in an additional weapon, which you swap in from.
Yeah.
Maybe it is closer than possible in the back end. But I think with the arc gun they want... But then again, they haven't done anything with the arc guns. They need to do something with those arc guns. Yep. They've also said, upon a player pressing the stance switching button, could be alt fire or change attack or R mode, and an animation Warframe either detaches detached blades or attaches detached blades. Since animation is the same as to the arc guns, calling animation, the game can use that time to switch stance and adjust the stats accordingly. I'm no game coder, but the logic might work. I think they do bring a fair point that seeing as we have arc gun, that could make it work. I think it'd be a lot of... I'm not sure how it works. It's another weapon that you're having to carry around. Yeah. They need to do more with arc guns.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to deny that. I'm just thinking like it's.
I think they were ruined because of they said, hey, what patch were they coming out with? Oh, they're coming out with this Orb Mother. You have to use them to fight the Orb Mother. That's what ruined them, wasn't it? If they came out the patch before or the patch later,
no, I don't think that was the thing that ruined them. I think the thing that ruined them was that you could bring your normal weapon and your arc gun, not one or the other one.
Yeah,
and that was the original plan, one or the other.
Well, it would. Yeah, I think it was more. Wasn't it that you could take your
arc gun, right?
Yeah.
Or you could take your primary and secondary. They were undecided whether or not you'd be able to take your melee, right? Not your arc melee, but just your regular melee.
Yeah.
But then they backed out of that and made it so that you could take all 3 guns, and it was like, oh no. So it just completely subtracted. I don't know why they did it.
It gutted them. It did. It didn't it? Because then they became supplemental rather than their own thing.
Yeah. It's difficult to get ammo for them. I'm looking to do a video with Zandy, which is going to be the first Xeno codex in a bloody long time. I'm not planning on making them routine, but basically highlighting.
No, actually, no. I think I'm still right. I think it's because of the Orb Mother. Because if you think about it, Why are they? Everyone can bring them, so that everyone can always bring them to kill the Orb Mother. You don't have to go, right, who's bringing the heavy weapon?
No, that's just because that's how the fight was tailored.
I know, but I've always said in the past that that's how they develop a patch, is they always combine things together.
Yeah.
Come on, the whole quest line is built around using them in gravity. It's because if they came out a patch later or a patch earlier, they would be fine.
Yeah.
They have been tied into that Orb Mother fight, and then it was abandoned, and thus they have been abandoned, and they were butchered and gutted to fit around the idea of this fight, which meant that everyone had to be able to bring them.
Yeah.
Because we can't...
I would change it so that fight, you can get a piece of whatever given to you by Vox Solaris that allows you to equip all three, and then change it to what the original plan was.
Change it to the original. All you'd have to do is, because it's already set up for your game to have that there, but just make it so that you have to choose when you load out. But they drop into the fight. Because this is how it should have been. It should have been cool. They would have dropped into the fight pads that let you use it for that one time. Like they drop in the life support. Like the life support charges. Yes, and then it equips your heavy weapon. That's how it should have been done.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
it is totally that. That is what has butchered them. They designed it for that fight. The whole weapon system is built around building up to and for that fight, and it has ruined them.
So one thing...
it's come to this conclusion. It's really sad.
One thing that Zandy and I are going to do, because Zandy's like really good at like the whole builds and things, I am not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Zandy's...
So we're going to collaborate together. I'm going to do a Xeno Codex that basically highlights, like, DE, like, did this weird butchering of the arc guns. Why? And my thinking is that people are going to be too afraid that DE are too afraid that either the guns aren't going to be good enough or they're going to be too good, right? And depending on like Zandy's findings and things, because I want to know where the arc guns sit in like the DPS charts and things like that.
As they stand now, yeah.
And if it's a case of, no, these things can just shred up to like level 300, then yeah, okay, knock them down a notch, right? No one's doing arcing nearly enough. So...
But would that be a bad thing?
Exactly. It would. Knocking them down a notch would not be a bad thing, right?
No. I meant, what is it bad that, you know what the most effective way to play for Warframe is? What? Well, when you open Arcwing, go get your Arc Gun, start playing Arcwing set some Arcwing mods, and then just swap to using your Arc Gun. Is that a bad thing?
To me, it depends on what DE want to achieve with their player base. Because, like, if they are happy for players to be playing, like, 3 or 4 hour long survival missions...
just point out, they don't have Rivens.
Yes, they do.
Do they have Rivens now?
Yeah, the Rivens are in arbitrations. You get the Vitus Essence, and yeah, the Vitus Essence, and you can buy Arc Gun Rivens. Yeah.
I was wondering, like, why I haven't heard of them and why I haven't really paid attention to them. Other than arbitrations, they're dead to me then.
Yeah. But yeah, so we are going to investigate this. We are going to...
Wait, markets exist! And I have platinum! Okay, let's fix this. Right,
can you trade the... I don't know if you can trade them. I assume you can.
Rivens. You can trade Rivens. It would be unique for them to be untradeable.
Let's go to Riven Market.
That's a good point.
Market.
Well, no, this is where we find not even the people that nobody wants to do it. So there's
but like you could look at the sell, right, or the browse, and just see if it's an option. Weapons. Where is the Grattler's on here? Yep. So yep, you can trade them.
Good.
How much is a Grattler Riven? Wow. Oh
well,
wow.
Actually, you're saying about damn. There were.
Like, they fluctuate in price a lot.
I bet they do. But you were saying about, the optimal thing of it, and if maybe they shouldn't have had Rivens, maybe that would be the case.
Yep.
Maybe that would have bounced them. Or maybe you can, before having Rivens, that's the thing, you're going to have to get Zandy to look at this. What is the damage on these before Rivens and what with a Riven?
Yeah. But
I mean, I don't know how powerful their ribbons are.
I just don't think that the art guns are going to be anywhere near high enough.
Right, let's round this off. What else we got? Too much work for a weapon almost no one uses, and those who do, no one would swap between them mid-mission. That's the thing. As we were saying, we've already got problems with people swapping between rifle and pistol.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it looks really cool. And going. It's like, that's nice. I got a whip.
Yeah.
They're dead. Yeah. It's a nice feature, but it's, yeah. Next one. I'd love to see a feature like that for sword and whips. Let them go back and forth between sword whip moveset and the quick melee sword only move that they used to have. Oh, using a sword whip moveset. I assume they mean like the swords that are whips and you can... Yeah. And the last one is, how much do I need to pay to upvote you twice? Well, technically, you could make additional accounts, so nothing. But not getting it. I'm sorry to say, I doubt it. I just don't see the point of it. Maybe back in the day before, when the Dark Split Sword was an earlier concept when Warframe was a lot smaller game. You're looking at how the scope of Warframe now, like putting effort to making that work. A bit, yay. That's my soul.
Yeah.
Do you remember I used to talk about weapon, the niche for a weapon, like in the environment and the playstyle, like what this weapon uses this, and I was saying about planets having certain elements where it's like you need to use this weapon, it's better, or you need to use this next weapon. The game has no niche where you like, right, I need to use a big sword now, I need to use a dual sword, use daggers now. It would just be completely cosmetic. You'd be like, right, well, they both kill enemies just as good, it barely even feels different. What's the point?
I think the first thing they need to do, seriously, is add in a enemy that you can only melee.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's the first step towards this. Then give it time for people to get used to. Fine tune that enemy, and then you can look at introducing other mechanics. Right. They need to get melee in a place that people want to use it as an alternative, because like the person here that said that they wanted 3 melee weapons, like, they're not alone, but I think more people readily use weapons over anything else. And it's like guns over anything else. And that is the big problem when it comes to melee. It's like, oh no, I have this alternative that is easier, right? And people want the easiest solution. So you introduce an enemy that I've dubbed the Nightcrawler enemy. You know why, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And people might go, right, okay, so we've got this enemy, and they all use heavy swords, right? They don't use anything else, right? And then it's like, okay, so now we have to solve the problem of why people are only using heavy-bladed weapons, right? Why are they using heavy-bladed weapons over dual swords? Why are they using it over... Do we have any axes in the game?
Axe and Brunt is an axe, technically, but there's no actual axe. No,
that's Sword and Shield, isn't it?
No, you've got... Brain? You've got two-handed axes, haven't you?
I know of the... I think there's... Oh, God, I can't remember what it's called. There is an axe in Arkwing, but I don't think there's actually an axe in Warframe.
Warframe, man. No, there is. It's the Cindo, and the dual.
Oh God, yeah! Fucking hell, yeah!
Yeah.
I wonder how many people were listening in and just going, "No, you got these over here." So few.
There's so many weapons. So yeah. Well, first of all, it's a bit ridiculous that they've just got heavy blade, right? Which encompasses what?
Too many.
Big swords and big axes. Yeah, so that's the thing, is that there is only 2 axes. Well, this is Zenistar, but I suppose whatever that's supposed to be. But there's only Cindo and Cindo Prime for the actual big axes, and then you've got the Zorans. That's the one. Yeah, you got but there's no single axe. But then you got the Ack and Brunt, which is your sword and shield, but it's an axe. So basically, they're just counted as swords. And I bet you, if I remember right, if Zoran, Warframe. I think they're using dual sword. Yeah, basically they're just counted as swords.
Wow.
Yeah, so the dual Zoran, just a pair of swords. But there isn't any. You are right though. Right, okay. I just want to point out. You are actually right. There is no axe in the game. There is no single-handed axe.
Yeah.
There is axes. There's a pair of axes. They're counted as dual swords. There is a big axe. It's counted as a heavy blade, and there is a sword and shield, which is it's an axe, but it's counted as a sword. So there is never just an axe. It's an axe. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
the way you fight with an axe and fight with a sword is completely different.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the different like weapon types and things, and how many weapons have.
We need a dual Zoran Prime. That's what we need. We need to bring Zorans back.
There are too many dual weapons, too many single swords, and there are just like only one fan, one two-handed Nakana.
But then I think at the moment they're not focusing on adding weapons to the game because they just add in a few whenever your Warframe comes out, and that's it. Because they just need to take a step back and think about what.
But basically, the whole point is that they need to actually see, after they have sorted out Melee 3.0, where everyone is happy with it, then introduce an enemy like the Nightcrawler who
requires melee-based solutions.
Well, no, then they can gauge from that, like, what are things that are not seeing the light of day? Why are they not seeing the light of day? Right? Why are people choosing that? Because the problem with melee is that we got so many goddamn melee weapons that no one touches.
Yeah. Well, like I say, either need to have niches but it's just, you just hack things and you just, yeah. But there needs to be more melee-specific mobs and melee-specific areas, maybe enemies which disable your guns, which be like nullifier enemies, but for rifles. Even, it just, more solutions for things things in melee.
No, actually, I really like that. So the idea is that there is a...
Weapon jammers.
Weapon jammer. That's actually another good solution. Weapon jammers. So you have to melee. So I think that should be the first enemy over the Nightcrawler. Because
can I also add that if you did go down that road and make it in the weapon jammers, but like, oh, but why is I not bringing a melee weapon? Give us bloody melee attacks already. We know it's in the game. It's definitely for the bloody harvester fight. Just put it in, unarmed attack, unmoddable. Just do it. So you can always be able to punch. You'll always be able to do it, and you could have it that if you ground slam, I don't know, deal. There's ways of dealing with them.
Why wouldn't you want to just go? Oh, I'll just bring them.
This is something I'm actually going to do. I do mean to make a video, and maybe while you're writing, I'll do a bit more of a script on it. One of the things is going to be a section on is that they add things to the game, but they always make them optional. There's so much optional faff in the game that it means, and because it's optional, no one uses it or it's not interacted with. They need to go, right, if you want to do the next level of content, you must have your arcanes, you must have your operator maxed out, you must have your arcwing maxed out, and you must be using Rivens.
Yeah.
Right? You have to have these things.
Yeah.
Right? Go engage with them. Instead, they go, oh, well, you don't have to use Rivens, really. You can use a gun without Rivens, so we don't have to worry about having... I'm not saying a maximum build, fair enough, but, I don't have to use... Oh, you don't have to use arcanes. You can get by without them. There are only just these many things. Oh, focus tree. Oh, don't worry. You don't need to unlock all your things. Or, they need to start going, you have to do this. Get doing it. Yeah. And then think about, right, are we preventing players from doing it? Or how do we make things more accessible to players so that we encourage to get them? Because we need to get everyone to the same bloody point. There's all these bloody optional things. The same thing with melee weapons. Oh, well, you don't need to equip melee weapons. You can play the game without. Don't worry. We'll make it that the game will just accept that you might not always have a melee weapon. No, if you don't have a melee weapon and these melee and mobs turn up, you're screwed. You run away from them. You deal with them in a completely different way by just ignoring them because it's painful. Right, there we go.
Or abilities.
Because I'm sick of but if you make it that this mob is only shootable, but I'm playing sword alone, I want to be able to do the game exactly how it was. Like, no. At some point, we have to go, no, this is the high-level content. You have to play with everything.
Yeah. So I know you did.
Yep. High level and top level. Yeah, that's what I said.
Sorry, I thought you said endgame.
Sorry, that's enough whinging over the thing. That is it for it. Let's move on to the memes.
Right, okay, so that's...
Let's calm me down.
Hold on,
calm me down. The rage of building them. So I'm going to do this video just to let my rage out.
I'm just thinking, like, do we need another card? I don't think we do. We've got 3 cards. Right.
3 cards.
Off. Whoops.
Memes. So these are memes that are from the r/meme frame Reddit. It is a lovely place for some hilarious
frame review. Go.
There we go. So the first one is Dog Scalibur Umbra plays Index. Oh boy, I can't wait to play a quick session of Index to earn some quick buck and quickly leave. And then you have his teammates. Did you get it?
Yeah. It's not dropping in the things.
So no one's dropping in things. They've got to reach his 100 target. They have 26 seconds left and they have no energy.
Yeah.
And everyone's sitting on 1 billion points, which means they're really weak. And it's like, ah! Yep.
Yep.
That is what it like. That is how Index do.
Yep.
Right. Number 2. Gorse is fun against Grenier and Infested. Gorse going through a tight corridor. Hella fun.
Oh, that's good.
It's like, yeah!
Next one.
Very true. Number 3. Mark 1 Bratton does the job too. When your friend is new to the game and you help him to complete starting quests. Mag Mastery Rank 1, Nidus Mastery Rank 27. So true.
Oh, that's awesome. I love his Dwayne Johnson as well.
Yep.
Right.
It had to be Dwayne Johnson. Right, I thought
is that out of a movie?
I think so. Please put in the comments if people know what.
I wonder if it's the Tooth Fairy one that I never saw.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, next.
Number 4, I went a bit political. We have Greta Thunberg here. Right, so it's not too late to cleanse yourself. The new talking point from the new speaker of New Loca. There we go. Number 5. It's not much of a meme, but I don't know if it's on here. I don't know if you guys have seen this now. Made this in Blender and Photoshop, by the way. Very good. They've got Scott as Rhino. He always says that's his favorite one. However, I'd hope that's supposed to be Sheldon as Volt because
that's Jeff.
Jeff is Jeff Caliber. Jeff Caliber. He's wrong. What they should have done is they should have put Excalibur in and scaled it up so it was really tall.
Yeah.
And just put like a giant Excalibur and then obviously Umbra for Steve. Yeah. Fair enough. And then the final meme of the week. It's got so many upvotes and I don't really know why. Clem. People who understand the Clem language, people who understand the Corpus Grenier Orokin language. As you can see, these people are T-posing to assume they're dominant. I don't get this meme, but fair enough. Oh dear. T-posing to display one's dominance. There we go. I think this is supposed to be from a game, because it's a game, but I scroll down, I don't know what it is. Because obviously it's been just filled with people saying Clem, Kokata. Someone... That's what it says about game.
Move on to the...
I think you should really play the game. It's free. There's nothing to lose except your happiness. I don't know what game that's from, but fair enough. Someone let me know. There we go. Okay, that's it. Can we have the... Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at least not pacing them to myself this time.
First one is the Brooke Grax by Hawker.
I did not know of this Brooke skin, but I really need to pick it up. Brooke. I'm not a fan of Brooke, really. I don't think I've even played Brooke yet. And
Loz,
this Grax skin looks amazing.
We had Faven on not so long ago. The guy that does the Grax skins, the one that gave you your face.
I know, and I'm saying how awesome this skin is and how it makes me want to play the frame.
Yeah. Moving on.
I didn't know this was coming out, and and I'm totally not logging into Warframe now to buy it. I saw it before.
Loz, I saw you log into Warframe to buy it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
But you say you're totally not doing it. Why are you lying?
Totally not.
Second one! No, wait. Yeah, second one. So, Titania by Aquino Bear Art. So this is day 8 of Inktober.
Inktober. Lovely.
And I think this is Frail. Yeah. I actually really like this one. Lars is like, thumbs up.
No, it's brilliant.
It's
just this month is awesome for just the doodles, man.
So I don't know if it was during the last episode or after the last episode. Loz challenged me to find an Inktober for every.
No, at the end of the month. At the end of the month, you gather them up, and we're gonna have maybe a special video.
Dude, I'm gathering up I'm doing it during the month because.
Yeah, obviously no during the month. Yeah, that's the way we're doing it.
But yeah,
this one, and then at the end of the video, we'll just do a video and we'll just go through one for each day and just be like, even if we've seen them on 10 o'clock before, we'll just do like here's 30 days worth of Inktober and just be like, what an awesome month! Here's some awesome things.
Yeah. Right. Number 3 is this gorgeous Vault, which is another Inktober, and it's day 9 swing.
That's just awesome.
It is gorgeous.
I mean, it's just
it's also done Vault by Painted Galaxy. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Next one.
Yep. Take it in, Loz. Just take it in.
Oh, that's great.
Number 4 is this gorgeous Limbo by Chris Rogers.
Nice, dynamic. I like it.
Limbo Prime as well.
Yes. On top of the shoulders.
I was going to go with the face, but yeah, okay.
Shoulders.
Shoulders, guys. Right, number 5.
You can tell by the right inset bone toe. Toe bone.
Anyway.
Inset. Right.
The 5th community shoutout is this gorgeous Infested Sarin by Cleo Natarin. Is fantastic, amazing, and spectacular. Loz is in shock. His camera went out of focus.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's just thing of beauty, man. Thing of beauty.
The 6th community shout out is Floating Ladies by Hag. Not entirely sure if we've had this before.
No, I've not seen it before.
Okay.
Can I complete this picture?
Yeah.
Just have a Zephyr in the background just falling. Just falling. She can't float. She does nothing but fall with style.
Oh. What's that?
Poor Zephyr.
Right. And then the 7th community shout out is this Excalibur Umbra.
I mean, it's called Floating Ladies.
Yeah. Right. The 7th community shout out is this Excalibur Umbra by Mahey Bandit.
I was like, this seems it's a Berserk pose, right? Berserk is awesome. Right. Cool. That is nice. Cool. Not to be critical because I know it's more amazing than any artwork but I would like maybe it's just the Sarin and that awesome Vault we saw earlier, just like a little bit more detailing on like the head.
Yeah.
It just seems to blur a bit into the background. It's just not I don't know, maybe the line work or something. But I love the pose. I normally don't like Umbra because of the way the pose is. Looking like this, it's just so much more character in the shot. I suppose maybe it is stealing from Berserk, but
it's still good.
It's still good. It's just I see more Umbra in that than all the other like Umbra poses where it's just like standing.
Oh,
it's like this shows so much more depth to it. Yeah, lovely. So the artwork.
Yep, that's it for the community shoutouts.
Lovely.
Next, we're gonna do my quote. Do my quote, Loz. Right. If you don't get this straight away, I think you have suffered brain damage. But I tried.
Sorry, I'm too busy buying Brute Grax.
Right.
What?
I have tried so hard with this quote. Like some of the words were just really difficult. Right, okay, you ready? No, he's busy buying Brute. Hold on.
I'm buying busy Brute Grax. Hang on.
So you need to buy Brute Grax.
Just return to my transaction.
It is so important that he supports Faven at this point in time.
Well, of course I'm going to support Faven, but still, it's just like, but this one is just amazing. Like, I just hate the Brute skins, and then this one just makes him like a demon. So good. A skeleton man. Yeah. I've never seen that Ash skin before. That's awesome. Is that new? Wow. Okay. Sorry.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Have you seen what it's like out there, Queen? Do you even ever actually leave the fortress? Everybody just shoots and explodes at each other. Nobody's surviving anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other clone. You think leaders like Tilra Gore ever think what it's like to be a clone like me? to be someone but themselves, they don't. They think that we'll just march there and obtain it, like good little clones. That we won't ghoul and go manic.
I know it. What do you mean by ghoul and go manic? I know this.
Oh my god.
Oh, my brain's not great this morning.
We need to get you chicken. 10 cc's of chicken.
Not much chicken, I want more than that.
You want me to go again?
No, I need it. I know it's a newish film.
Yep.
I think it's a superhero film.
Yeah.
Sci-fi at the very least.
No. It's superhero at the very least.
Superhero. Is it Marvel or DC?
DC.
DC.
Going to put you out of your misery? You will hate yourself.
It's not Joker or anything, is it?
It is. It's Joker.
Oh, what's that? God, you really have done a good job of changing some of the words. When?
Yep. Have you ever seen what it's like out there, Queen? Do you ever actually leave the fortress?
Who's talking to who?
It's the Joker talking to Murray.
Oh, is it the final?
It's the final scene.
Do you know, I was so washed away by that scene.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not spoiling it.
Yeah,
it's been out for a week now, so I wouldn't spoil it. No, I don't even want to go into the details of it. That's my point. That I was so washed away by it, I couldn't take it all in. Yeah. I want to see that scene of the film again. I don't want to sit through the rest of the film.
Anyway.
It was so good, and it worked well to get there. It was a bit too long to get there, but I just want to see that again.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, so by the way, there's some amazing skins on this batch of Tenno Gen.
Right, so that's it for this week's 10 o'clock. Thank you everyone for listening. I need to actually get this on a USB stick and then go meet up with Loz.
Yeah.
And we shall see you next week. Where's the off button? Oh, there it is. Loz is still bemused by all the skins.
Browsing rack skins. I can't buy them all in one go. So I was like,